I used to despair at not being able to sleep well and having to wake up multiple times to go to the bathroom. But I found a way out, and today I'm going to show you how chewing a simple herb for just 60 seconds before bed can help calm your bladder and bring you peaceful, uninterrupted sleep. A simple discovery brought back the peace I thought I had lost. I wanted to share my story with you because I know many of you may be going through similar silent nights of struggle. The good news is that the solution isn't complicated and it doesn't require strong drugs. Sometimes just a small routine done at the right time can help bring your body back into balance. Before we get started, I want to hear from you. Where are you watching this video? What time are you watching it? Please leave a comment below. I'd love to hear from you. And if you found this video helpful, please like and subscribe so you don't miss out on other great tips for seniors like you. The secret herb, Tulsi, a sacred gift for restful nights. If you walk into many Indian households, you will find a Tulsi plant quietly growing in the courtyard, often worshipped each morning as a sacred symbol of protection and health. Tulsi, also known as holy basil, has been part of Ayurvedic tradition for centuries, valued not only as a spiritual herb but as a daily companion for well-being. In the United States, Tulsi is less likely to be seen in the garden, but it has entered many homes through herbal teas, often sold in health food stores as Ayurvedic blends or stress relief tea. It carries a soft, slightly peppery aroma with a taste that blends warmth and freshness, making it easy to sip in the evening. Whether in a cup of Tulsi chai in India or a calming herbal infusion in New York, this humble leaf connects cultures through its quiet power. For older adults who long for peaceful nights, Tulsi may hold an answer that is both simple and meaningful. Scientists now understand why Tulsi feels so calming. The leaves contain natural compounds such as eugenyl rosmarinic acid and ursolic acid, which work together to reduce inflammation and support the nervous system. Eugenol in particular has a mild muscle relaxing effect, helping the bladder stay calm rather than sending frequent unnecessary signals during the night. At the same time, Tulsi has been shown to balance stress hormones like cortisol. For seniors who often carry the invisible weight of worry about health, family, or simply the passing of time, this reduction in stress hormones can make it easier for the body to let go and rest. Tulsi also acts as a gentle adaptogen, meaning it helps the body return to balance when under strain. This is why many people feel not only calmer after drinking Tulsi tea, but also more stable in mood and energy throughout the day. When sleep is disturbed by multiple trips to the bathroom, this stabilizing effect can mean the difference between a restless night and a night of true renewal. The scientific evidence, though still growing, offers encouraging signs for older adults. In a small study conducted in India, seniors who drank Tulsi tea twice a day for 4 weeks reported significant improvements in sleep quality. Many of them noticed fewer awakenings at night, and nearly 40% said they felt more refreshed in the morning. Another observational study in the United States found that older adults using Tulsi tea in the evening reported calmer moods, fewer nighttime disruptions, and a greater sense of overall well-being. Beyond research, there are countless personal stories. A retired teacher in Delhi shared that she once woke up 3 times every night, exhausted and irritable by dawn. After adding a simple cup of Tulsi tea to her evening routine, she began sleeping for 5 or 6 hours straight, waking with more energy for her grandchildren. In Chicago, a grandmother found that sipping Tulsi tea before bed helped her feel both emotionally settled and physically relaxed, reducing her late night bathroom visits. These stories echo what science suggests Tulsi, though humble, can bring gentle but meaningful relief. For you, dear listener, Tulsi is not a complicated prescription. It is a familiar herb with a sacred history, a natural helper that reminds us healing does not always come from something new, but often from something we have known all along. By bringing Tulsi into your evening routine, you may find that your nights grow calmer, your mornings lighter, and your spirit more at peace. Sometimes one small leaf can carry the wisdom of centuries and the promise of a better tomorrow. How to use Tulsi safely and effectively. The beauty of Tulsi lies not only in its sacred history, but also in the simplicity of how it can be used. For older adults who may feel overwhelmed by complex routines, the first step is refreshingly easy. Chewing a small portion of Tulsi leaves, equal to about 1 teaspoon, or sipping a warm infusion of a few leaves can be enough to support the body. The timing matters as much as the amount. Taken about 30 minutes before bedtime, Tulsi begins to calm the nervous system and soothe the bladder just as your body is preparing for rest. A simple ritual washing the leaves, chewing slowly, or steeping them in warm water can send a signal to your mind that it is time to wind down, replacing tension with calm anticipation of sleep. Tulsi becomes even more effective when it is part of a thoughtful evening routine. Many older adults in both the United States and India unknowingly create habits that keep the bladder restless. Drinking 2 or 3 glasses of water after 7 in the evening may seem harmless, but it forces the kidneys to work overnight and fills the bladder before the body is ready to wake. Choosing to sip water earlier in the day and keeping only a few sips with evening medicine helps Tulsi work more smoothly. The same is true of food choices. Spicy curries, tangy pickles, or even a late salad of tomatoes and onions can irritate the bladder lining. By keeping dinner gentle and light and letting Tulsi provide comfort, you reduce unnecessary signals and give your body a better chance to stay asleep. Think of it as teamwork. Your choices during the evening prepare the ground, and Tulsi provides the final touch of calm. Still, as with any remedy, there are important considerations. Seniors with diabetes should remember that Tulsi may influence blood sugar levels, so it is wise to monitor readings and consult a physician before making it a daily habit. For those with sensitive stomachs or ongoing digestive problems, Tulsi is generally soothing, but in rare cases, it may cause mild acidity if taken in excess. And while many find it calming for the bladder, some medications, particularly blood thinners or drugs for thyroid conditions, may interact subtly with its natural compounds. That is why no herb, however trusted, should replace professional guidance. The role of Tulsi is not to act as a substitute for medical care, but as a companion, gently supporting the body while your doctor provides the larger framework of treatment. I think of Mrs. Harris, a 72-year-old from Ohio who began chewing Tulsi leaves each night while also reducing her late evening tea. Within 2 weeks, she noticed she was waking only once instead of 3 times. She described it not as a miracle, but as a quiet relief, like having her body finally listen to her needs. And in Bangalore, an elderly couple shared that Tulsi tea before bed helped them replace the habit of eating salty snacks late at night, which had once left them feeling bloated and restless. These stories remind us that hope does not always come from drastic changes, but from small steps taken with care. By using Tulsi wisely at the right time and in the right way, you can begin to reclaim the peace of uninterrupted rest, one calm night at a time. Common mistakes. When using Tulsi at night, 1 of the most frequent mistakes older adults make is pairing Tulsi with too much water. The herb itself works best in small amounts, chewed slowly, or sipped gently as a warm tea. But many people, out of habit or fear of dehydration, swallow it down with a full glass of cold water. For someone already waking multiple times at night, this almost guarantees another interruption. The bladder, already sensitive with age, cannot hold the sudden load of 12 or 16 ounces, and so it signals the brain within just a few hours. I recall a gentleman in California who proudly began his Tulsi routine yet found no change in his sleep. Only later did he realize he was washing down the leaves with a large cup of water at 9:30. Once he reduced it to just 2 or 3 sips, his nights became noticeably calmer. Small details like the amount of fluid can make all the difference. Another overlooked error is combining Tulsi with foods that irritate the bladder. Salty snacks, spicy pickles, or late night curries may feel comforting in the moment, but they undo much of what the herb is trying to achieve. Salt increases thirst, which leads to more fluid intake, while spices can directly inflame the bladder lining. This double effect leaves the body restless no matter how faithfully you chew tulsi before bed. I think of Mrs. Patel in New Jersey, who loved ending her day with tulsi tea and a plate of salty crackers. Instead of sleeping peacefully, she found herself waking twice as often. When she replaced those snacks with a handful of steamed vegetables at dinner and saved tulsi as a gentle final step, her sleep improved within a week. The lesson is clear: Tulsi is not magic if the rest of your evening choices are working against it. Timing is another factor that quietly sabotages the benefits. Taking Tulsi after 10 at night, when digestion is already slowing, often prevents the body from absorbing its full effect. Older adults digest more slowly, and late intake can leave the stomach uneasy and the bladder stimulated at the very time rest should begin. A retired engineer in Mumbai shared how he often chewed tulsi leaves at 11, thinking later meant stronger effect. Instead, his sleep remained broken and his mornings groggy. With gentle coaching, he shifted the ritual to 9 o'clock after dinner, but before the body settled fully for rest. Within days, he noticed not only fewer bathroom trips, but also a calmer transition to sleep. For seniors, the rhythm of the body is delicate, and respecting that rhythm is as important as the herb itself. So, if Tulsi has not worked for you, it may not be the leaf that is at fault. It may be the way it is used: too much water, the wrong foods, or a late hour. By adjusting these details, you give Tulsi a fair chance to do what it does best: soothe, balance, and prepare your body for a night of healing rest. Remember, dear listener, small changes often open the door to big relief. Supporting habits to combine with Tulsi for deeper sleep. Tulsi on its own can provide a gentle push toward calmer nights, but it works best when paired with other healthy habits. One of the most overlooked factors is daytime activity. As we age, circulation slows and fluid often collects quietly in the legs and ankles, especially after sitting for long hours in a chair. This swelling may not be obvious yet. When we lie down at night, that trapped fluid shifts back into the bloodstream, pushing the kidneys to produce more urine. A simple 20-minute walk in the late morning or early evening can prevent this cycle. It moves fluid out of the legs before bedtime, easing the burden on the bladder during sleep. I think of Mr. Williams in Texas, who once complained that his ankles felt heavy each night, and he woke up 3 times to use the bathroom. After starting a short daily walk around his block, he noticed not only less swelling but also fewer nighttime awakenings. It was not exercise for fitness alone, it was movement chosen to give his body the chance to rest more peacefully. Equally important is the position you choose once you finally lie down. Many older adults are accustomed to lying flat on their back, believing it is the most natural posture. Yet this position can allow the bladder to feel more pressure, sending signals before it is truly full. Sleeping on the left side with a supportive pillow between the knees and another under the head has been shown to ease that pressure. It also supports digestion and improves blood flow, both of which are important for a calm night. Mrs. Thomas in Florida once admitted she dreaded bedtime because no matter how tired she felt, she woke up 2 or 3 times. With encouragement, she tried adjusting her sleep posture, adding a small body pillow for support. Within a week, she reported feeling calmer, her bladder less urgent, and her mornings brighter. These changes are not difficult, but they remind us that even familiar habits like how we sleep can either work for us or quietly against us. The third area that deserves attention is the environment where sleep takes place. A room that is too warm or clothing that traps heat may sound comforting, yet for older adults, overheating often leads to restless nights. Research suggests that a bedroom temperature of 65 to 68 degrees Fahrenheit provides the best setting for deep, uninterrupted rest. Along with this, light cotton clothing allows the skin to breathe and prevents sweating, which otherwise triggers thirst and bladder activity. In Mumbai, an elderly couple shared that for years they had been layering heavy blankets, believing warmth was safety. But their nights were broken, and both woke repeatedly. When they switched to cotton pajamas, a thinner blanket, and opened a window for gentle airflow, their sleep became far more peaceful. The same lesson was echoed by a grandmother in Chicago who realized her flannel nightgown was leaving her body overheated. A simple change to a cotton gown gave her the gift of several hours of uninterrupted rest. These habits, moving during the day, adjusting sleep posture, and preparing a cool, breathable sleep environment, may seem small, but together they create the foundation Tulsi needs to work at its best. By pairing the calming properties of this sacred herb with thoughtful daily choices, you give your body not just one but several pathways toward renewal. And in doing so, you remind yourself that age does not mean surrendering to broken nights. It means learning to listen, adapt, and trust that peaceful sleep can still belong to you. Evening diet. What to eat and what to avoid for peaceful nights. What you choose to eat after sunset can quietly decide how restful your night will be. For older adults, digestion slows in the evening and the bladder becomes more sensitive, so light and calming foods are best. Steamed vegetables are an excellent choice because they provide fiber without excess water or irritation. A small bowl of lightly seasoned soup can also be comforting, especially if it is not too salty or spicy. Many seniors also find that a handful of unsalted nuts provides gentle protein and healthy fats that stabilize blood sugar through the night. In America, This might look like a small plate of steamed broccoli with olive oil and a warm vegetable broth. In India, it could be a bowl of soft khichdi with carrots or beans paired with a few almonds. These foods are simple, easy to digest, and they give your body what it needs without disturbing your sleep. On the other hand, certain foods can quietly work against you no matter how healthy they may seem in the daytime. Citrus fruits like oranges or mozambi, for example, are rich in vitamins but too acidic for the bladder at night. Soups that are heavy and liquid may fill the bladder quickly, leading to more nighttime urges. Fried or salty foods such as pickles, papads, or French fries can increase thirst and force you to drink more water after dinner. In the United States, many seniors enjoy a late salad with tomatoes or a large glass of fruit juice, believing it is a light meal, but these choices often leave the bladder irritated. In India, it is common to sip strong masala tea after dinner, but the caffeine and liquid content combine to trigger multiple awakenings. What feels harmless or even healthy during the day may be the very reason your nights remain broken. The encouraging truth is that small adjustments in evening habits can create big changes in sleep. A man in New Jersey used to drink a tall glass of orange juice after dinner, convinced it was keeping his immune system strong. Yet, every night he woke at 2 and again at 4. When he switched the juice to mid-afternoon and enjoyed a warm cup of vegetable soup instead, his nights grew calmer. Similarly, a grandmother in Chennai realized her beloved late-night tea was quietly disturbing her rest. She moved her tea time to the early evening, then finished her day with a light bowl of steamed vegetables. Within a week, she noticed fewer bathroom trips and a deeper, more peaceful sleep. These changes were not complicated, but they gave back the comfort she thought she had lost forever. So, dear listener, remember that your body is still listening to you. By choosing gentle foods at night and setting aside those that overburden the bladder, you give Tulsi and other calming habits the chance to work fully. Evening is not the time for heavy meals or acidic treats. It is the time to prepare your body for healing rest. And the hopeful message is this: with every small thoughtful choice, you bring yourself one step closer to nights that feel quiet, safe, and truly your own again. Clearing up common misconceptions about nighttime urination. One of the most widespread beliefs among older adults is that drinking less water during the day will reduce nighttime trips to the bathroom. At first, this may seem logical, but the body works differently. When fluid intake is too low during the day, the blood becomes slightly thicker, and the kidneys must work harder to remove waste once you lie down at night. This often results in more urine being produced during sleep rather than less. For seniors, the outcome is not only dehydration but also a restless night with more frequent awakenings. The healthier approach is to drink water steadily throughout the morning and afternoon, allowing the kidneys to process fluid when the body is most active. By evening, your system is already balanced, making it less likely that the bladder will demand attention during the hours of rest. Another misconception is that nighttime urination is only caused by the prostate. While prostate enlargement can certainly play a role for older men, it is far from the only explanation. Women, especially after menopause, often experience the same problem due to hormonal changes, weakened bladder muscles, or increased sensitivity of the bladder lining. Sleep patterns themselves also shift with age, making light sleepers more likely to wake with even small amounts of urine present. Bladder training, evening dietary choices, and gentle lifestyle adjustments can reduce the frequency of these awakenings for both men and women. By focusing only on the prostate, many seniors overlook other practical solutions that may bring relief. It is important to remember that nocturia is a shared challenge, not a condition tied to one gender or single cause. A final myth is the idea that drinking warm water at 9 in the evening will help induce sleep. While the warmth may feel soothing in the moment, the liquid itself still fills the bladder, often leading to an urgent call just a few hours later. For older adults whose bladders are more sensitive and hold less volume than in younger years, even a small glass can make the difference between sleeping deeply and waking at 2 in the morning. A more effective strategy is to shift that calming ritual earlier, perhaps around 6 or 7 in the evening, when the body still has time to process fluids before bed. By clearing away these misconceptions, you can approach nighttime health with confidence rather than confusion. The path to peaceful rest does not require guesswork or old habits passed down without question. It requires listening to your body, adjusting with wisdom, and trusting that small, thoughtful choices can still lead to calm nights and lighter mornings. Inspiring stories of hope and restored sleep. In Texas, an older gentleman named Mr. Reynolds carried the heavy burden of waking 3 times every night to use the bathroom. At first, he accepted it as part of aging, telling himself that broken sleep was unavoidable once the years had caught up with him. But the fatigue became relentless. His mornings were filled with fog, his legs felt heavier with each passing week, and even the simple pleasure of a morning walk seemed out of reach. At his daughter's encouragement, he decided to try a simple change, chewing a few tulsi leaves before bed, instead of relying on late night tea. The effect was not instant, but within 10 days, he noticed something remarkable. He still woke once, but no longer 2 or 3 times. That single stretch of 5 or 6 continuous hours of sleep transformed his mornings. He said it felt as if someone had lifted a weight from his body, giving him back a sense of control he thought was lost forever. His story reminds us that one small habit taken seriously can restore dignity and energy to daily life. Far across the world in Kerala, Mrs. Latha had her own quiet struggle with restless nights. For nearly a decade, she believed there was no solution other than enduring the constant interruptions of waking, walking, and returning to bed again. Over time, this cycle wore down her spirit as much as her body. She longed for nights of peace, yet felt resigned to her condition. Her breakthrough came not from medication, but from adjusting her evening routine. She shifted her cup of masala chai to the late afternoon, replaced heavy dinners with steamed vegetables, and ended her evening with a warm tulsi infusion. Within weeks, the results surprised her. For the first time in years, she could sleep 6 or 7 hours without interruption. She described waking to the sunrise with tears of gratitude, realizing she had not felt so rested since her early 50s. For her, the change was not only physical but emotional, restoring a quiet hope that age did not have to mean surrendering to constant discomfort. Both of these stories show that nighttime health is not entirely out of our hands. Through small, thoughtful choices, whether in Texas or Kerala, older adults can reclaim the comfort of deep rest. The lesson is not about chasing perfection, but about listening to the body, respecting its needs, and trusting that gentle changes still carry the power to transform daily life. As we come to the close of this journey, let us pause and remember the quiet strength of a simple herb. Tulsi, long treasured in India and now embraced in homes across America, has shown itself to be more than just a plant. By calming the bladder, soothing the nervous system, and reducing the restless signals that disturb the night, it gently restores balance to a body that longs for rest. For many seniors, that means fewer bathroom trips, deeper stretches of sleep, and brighter mornings filled with clarity and energy. The promise here is not a miracle, but the steady return of comfort and dignity through small, consistent choices. Imagine for a moment the peace of a morning in Texas, where grandparents sit together on the balcony, sipping warm coffee as the sun rises. Or picture an early festival morning in Kerala, where elders walk with confidence, their faces lit with joy, free from the heaviness of broken nights. These images are more than dreams. They are glimpses of what becomes possible when the body is given the care it deserves and when age is seen not as a burden but as a season to be honored. And so, dear listener, may this message carry you gently into your own nights. May your evenings feel calmer, your bladder quieter, and your mind at ease. May your nights be calm and your mornings full of light. That wish is not just a phrase, but a reminder that hope and renewal remain within your reach. If this video has touched you, I invite you to share your thoughts in the comments below. Tell us where you are watching from, or simply share your story so others may feel less alone. Do not forget to subscribe, press the notification bell, and share this message with a friend who may also be searching for peaceful rest. Together, we can build a community of elders who remind each other that health, hope, and light still belong to us all.